Let's look directly at the signal in the noise. The narrative that the 2026 memory market is suffering from some kind of shortage. It's a lie. We're being told the 60% price hike in the first quarter is just a market fluctuation. It is not. It is a resource heist. The withdrawal of the crucial brand, the scarcity of silicon, these are not bugs. They are features of a new operating system. This is supply discipline, and it's being enforced by an oligopoly, Samsung, SK Hynix, Micron, to divert the industrial rice of our world from the many to the AI elite. This is digital apartheid.
Apartheid? I mean, you call it apartheid. I call it the silicon cycle. We have to look at this with some, economic reality, not conspiracy theories. These manufacturers aren't villains in a boardroom. They're businesses trying to keep the lights on in an incredibly volatile market. If the demand and, frankly, the profit margin shifts to high bandwidth memory for AI, they have to chase it to survive. They aren't abandoning consumers out of malice. They are just responding to the most aggressive market shift in history.
Manufacturers are no longer interested in making products for people. They're harvesting people as data sources while starving them of the hardware to access anything. When a company like Micron effectively kills off a consumer staple like Crucial, they are sending a clear signal that the consumer is no longer the customer. The consumer is the product. The scarcity is a deliberate architectural decision.
But you're ignoring the physical reality of the foundry. You have to. The explosion of AI has created this insatiable hunger for HBM. That's the high-speed memory you need to train these models. Producing one single unit of HBM consumes 3 times the silicon wafer capacity of standard DRAM. It physically eats up the factory floor. So they're retooling because they have to, not because they want to starve your grandmother's laptop of RAM. It's a temporary pivot.
The data flatly contradicts your temporary narrative. Look at the mechanism of this starvation. This isn't just a software update. They have physically converted production lines. The bridge back to consumer DDR4 and DDR5 has been burned. By dedicating that much physical wafer space to AI, they have structurally, and I would argue permanently, capped the supply. They've engineered a bottleneck. It's a classic starvation export. Ship the grain to the palace while the village goes hungry.
That's a heavy accusation. But what about brand trust? These are legacy companies. If Micron or Samsung just completely abandons the users who built them, they destroy decades of loyalty. In a market economy, you just can't survive by alienating your entire base. They'll have to stabilize prices eventually, or they'll lose their future.
Trust is obsolete in a monopoly. What we're witnessing is tacit collusion among the only 3 players that matter. If every single option on the shelf is engaging in the same supply discipline, where does the consumer go? There's no exit strategy. It is a trustless economy. They don't need your loyalty because they have already engineered your dependency.
Okay, but the CEOs of these companies, they aren't emperors. They're accountable to shareholders. Their job is to protect shareholder value by pursuing the most profitable technology. That is their job.
Their job has changed. The modern CEO is not a captain, he's a liquidator. Just look at the trajectory of a company like Boeing. They stripped the company's legacy, its engineering excellence, all to inflate short-term stock prices. These memory giants are doing the exact same thing. They're selling the foundation of the house to buy a penthouse. They are liquidating the public utility aspect of silicon to chase a speculative bubble.
Even if I were to concede that, markets abhor a vacuum. If the big 3 leave the Western consumer behind, competitors will step in. Look at China's CXMT. They're ramping up production. Surely they will fill the gap, right, and normalize prices?
That is a fantasy. Sanctions, IP walls, they've turned the Western market into a fortress. We cannot import that relief. We are left in a burnt field where the local suppliers have fled and the foreign relief trucks are all blocked at the border. There is no cavalry coming.
It just feels wrong. So you're saying the average person is just doomed to buy used goods? It just seems so unfair that we have to scavenge just to maintain our standard of living.
The new market is now simply an AI tax collection system. Every time you buy a new stick of RAM at these inflated prices, you are directly subsidizing a data center that trains an algorithm to replace you.
So, we just opt out?
Precisely. Buying new is irrational. Silicon doesn't rot, It doesn't rust. A memory stick from 5 years ago functions identically to one made today. The only logical investment is to exit the primary market entirely. We must utilize the secondary market. We mine the existing stock of the world. It is the only way to hack the system and deny the oligopoly their AI tax. The existing capitalist system has initiated its own self-cannibalization phase. Our only logical move is to step off the plate.